How to build a proper regard to that thing we call dissemination, and not to miss all these sensations people speak of here.
For me, it's very important because I feel Bal Sulam. If not for dissemination, he wouldn't write anything. What? Why? What for? How were other Kabbalists throughout the generations? Concealed themselves and everything they've written. And they wrote everything, in code, just to leave it to a Kabbalist that will come after them. Only because the generation, as Baal Salam writes, that I was rewarded, in the time to act, in all those articles, he writes about it. It's because of my generation that demands that must do it. That's why I was rewarded, and I have to talk to you and tell you about it. What do you mean? Rabash said he was ready to talk to rocks. They told him once that there's an American that is flying back at 2 a.m. and he can stop by our study hall at midnight. He wants to talk about the wisdom of Kabbalah. Rabash didn't go to sleep. Someone, if you could see that person, how prideful he was, how coarsely he spoke. But Rabash didn't go to sleep in order to exchange a few words with him. You can't comprehend it. This filthy person, how he talked about himself. Probably he was well off. He thinks highly of himself, an American. I couldn't stand him. I would have thrown him out of here, out of there, if I was allowed. But he was ready. He was ready to talk to him.
It's just that all the friends, they're expressing a general concern that everyone share. The Congress in the desert will be powerful. Everyone will want to come and participate, and then we'll...
What for?
Reality shows us that
if from that Congress we don't come out with a dissemination action, you shouldn't have a Congress in the desert. My opinion, we shouldn't. You need to know, why am I doing this? What's the final action? Otherwise, what for?
It's really felt that there is a need for a jump in terms of our own maturity towards that thing called dissemination. And previously, you likened it to us making a fist, so to speak, a very strong one. We join together many people from wider circle, but
a punch is not about punching someone. It's about concentrating, contracting together. That's what I meant.
So ultimately, we need to...
I'm not going to hit anyone.
No, I mean, we need to blow up the Iron Partition, or...
Well, it's even more internal. It's in the center of the 10.
Can you try to tie these two things together? I think that's the great gap here between... Well, I'm doing something related to dissemination, but this dissemination, this action is actually the most inner one, or...
Specifically now, I'm beginning to feel how the topic of the Congress, where we have to unite in order to disseminate the method of correction to the whole world, this topic is hot, it's relevant, it's contemporary, it's necessary. When I am hearing you talk, I can see how much more work we have to do.
So each one has work to do with himself, right? Because there's resistance to...
Each with himself. We need to know how to awaken each one, to speak with himself, to correct himself, to connect himself, because no one can do it in his place. And everyone together. Without it, we have nothing to hope for.